And now I go along to a Schindler 3300 with keypad floor select. Now this keypad floor select thing has been a complete utter failure. The idea first came out back with Schindler Smart, and people just didn't know how to use it, because to go to floor 10 you have to press 1, then you press 0. Now the Schindler Smart, it'd give you a delay if there was a certain button to press. So let's say floor 15 is the top floor. So now someone gets in the lift and they press 2 to go to floor 2. The lift accepts their call straight away because the lift knows there's no other number that can come after 2. There is no floor 20. But then the next person sees the floor 2 got accepted straight away. So they press floor 1 because they want to go to the first floor, and they assume their call will also be accepted straight away. They press 1, but the lift has a delay because the lift wants to know, do you want floor 1 or do you want floor 15? You might press another button after 1, but then the third person in the lift presses their call and they want to go to floor 4. They press 4 and the lift then accepts 14 as the call. So it goes to the second floor, then the 14th floor, but doesn't stop at the first or the fourth floor, which is where the people were wanting to go. So keypad floor select didn't take off and the Schindler Smart was not installed for that long. So after that there wasn't any more keypad floor select until the ThyssenKrupp Ices came along. They tried to reinvent it, but once again people didn't understand it, especially considering on an Ices lift you have to wait for it to say free apparatus before you enter your call. Like, how the fuck did they expect an ordinary person to understand that? They were expecting ordinary non-lift enthusiasts, just like your ordinary person getting in the lift, to relearn how a lift works. It wasn't going to happen. So, if we now fast forward to the present day, keypad floor select has now made a return again, but this time it's on high-rise lifts. On Landmark Pinnacle, the lift goes up 75 floors, and to have 75 buttons is an awful lot of buttons. So this has keypad floor select, but people accept it there. And the reason why they accept it is because it also has destination dispatch on the outside the lift, which is very similar to keypad floor select. And because people are now used to destination dispatch, people accept the keypad outside the lift, they now accept the keypad inside the lift. But let's now go back to the late 2000s, early 2010s. At that point, Schindler also tried doing keypad floor select on the 3300. And back then, it was also a complete fail. And in this particular lift, there's quite a bad example of this. Because this lift goes from the ground floor down to car park levels, which are underground. So, floor -2 is car park 2. Come on, do I really think people are going to get that? You have to press minus, then you press 2 to go to car park 2. But it's not intuitive because people won't be expecting keypad floor select on such a small lift. It's not a skyscraper. So people get in this lift and literally just press 2 to go to car park 2. And they wonder why it doesn't go and it just says error. What's ridiculous about that is there is no floor 2. So they might as well make the 2 button be -2. There's no need to have to press minus and 2 when there is no +2. This really shows why people could not get to grips with this setup. I wonder how many people get confused by this. Press minus, then press 1 to go to -1. -1. Like, lift enthusiasts get it, but ordinary people who look at it be so confused, especially when it's not the whole keypad, because normally you only have to do it when it's the whole keypad. When they've only got some of the buttons, you wouldn't normally have to do it like keypad select. So first is press 2. 2, nope, can't want to go 2. Stop letting me. That's what most people are going to be like. Most people aren't going to understand. The number of people I reckon have been in this just get completely confused. So I'm just going to say a couple of extra things on my opinions about these keypad floor select lifts. Firstly, I really like them as the perspective of a lift enthusiast because they are weird, they are stupid, they are strange. And as a lift enthusiast, I like to see things that are different. The world would be a very boring place if everything was all the same. So for me, I like it when I see something weird because it's like, oh, this is strange, this is fun. But I'm a lift enthusiast, I'm not a normal person. A normal person getting in the lift just wants to go to their floor. They don't want to have to learn how this system works. They're probably not even thinking about how the lift works. They're probably on their phone. They're just trying to do a normal day life. They don't give a fuck about what the lift's doing. They just want to press floor 2 and go to floor 2, and they don't want to have to mess about with anything else or have to understand what's going on. So ultimately, keypad floor select failed because it didn't do the job. I know in the modern day people now understand it because people have been more in tune with that sort of thing because people use screens on their phones, people generally understand this stuff more. Then you've got destination dispatch. People have to learn destination dispatch, so therefore they can also now use keypad floor select. But a number of destination dispatch, when I'm standing in the lift and someone comes along and just enters the lift and they don't press the floor on the outside, but they wonder where all the buttons have gone inside the lift. It's a bit like Wallace and Gromit for wrong trousers. What have you done with the controls? There's no buttons!
It's the wrong trousers. The wrong trousers. What have you done with the controls, Gromit?
Generally, destination dispatch is here to stay, especially with taller and taller skyscrapers, so generally people will have to relearn lifts to understand that. But keypad floor select, especially back in the past, back when like Schindler started that, almost no one understood it, and that's why that design failed. Now, the final thing I want to say is a lift is a piece of transport which is ultimately going to be used by people with dementia. Now, people with dementia won't be able to understand it because people with dementia get stuck in the past. They can only think back to things they knew in the past and they can't learn new things. So if they come across something new which they don't understand, they are going to be incapable of learning it. Now, here's an example of this, of one person I knew with dementia, but this particular person could not get to grips with Freeview on the TV. They could not understand their TV remote because they were used to analog TV, where there's only 4 channels back on analog, or if you're in London, there's 5 channels. There were no channels with multiple digits. So back in like the old analog TVs they were used to, if you pressed button 3, it'd take you to channel 3 instantly. Analog was switched off and Freeview took its place. With Freeview, you can have channels with 3 digits in. So a bit like a keypad floor select lift, you press button 3, but it won't change channel instantly, it then waits. Do you want channel 3, or maybe you want channel 30, maybe you want channel 300? It waits to see what you press after that. If you don't press anything for a second, then it realises, oh, you want channel 3. Now this person with dementia could not understand that. They had a Freeview TV for 5-10 years, and even through that whole time period, they still could not learn or understand why the TV kept not working. They'd press 3 to go to channel 3, then it wouldn't change straight away because it's waiting to see if you're going to press a second digit after 3. But they were used to old-fashioned TV remotes where if it doesn't change straight away, that means your battery on your remote's going wrong. So we're holding down the 3 button, waving the remote at the TV to try and make it accept they want to go to channel 3. Because they were waving the remote at the TV, it accepted the 3 button multiple times, and the TV ended up going to channel 33 or channel 333. As far as the TV was concerned, it kept seeing the 3 button being pressed on the remote. And this particular person kept thinking their TV was broke. They could not understand why the TV was going to channel 33 or 333. Because as far as they were concerned, they were pressing the 3 button for channel 3. And even after having Freeview for 5 to 10 years, they could not learn that. They were constantly like, oh, my TV's broke today. The point I'm trying to make is people with dementia cannot learn even the simplest things. Someone with dementia going into a keypad floor select lift, they could never understand it. Even if they went in that lift every day, they're still likely to not be able to learn it. So, let's just finish this video by saying the lifts that use them like Fist and Cup ices are now all being replaced. Like, how often nowadays do you see a Fist and Cup ices? That's not modernised. It's very rare, because lift engineers found the logic so restrictive and hard to maintain. However, while keypad floor select's becoming a thing of the past, destination dispatch is here to stay. So in other words, if there's a keypad to enter in the floor, the keypad is now far more likely to be outside a lift than inside. Although there's certain exceptions to that, like Landmark Pinnacle. Well, I'm actually really sad to think that Fist and Cup ices will probably be extinct in a couple of years. Because as bad as they were, I actually found them so weird and interesting because they were so bad that they were actually good. And that is the end of the video.